Morning, folks. I'm going to be using some TFS soap. This container here is got 8.4 ounces of soap. That is quite a bit. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Comes with I like this part right here, this, I guess you might call it an extra lid. Of course, I've shaved with this a few times, but it is full with the soap. And it's a fairly soft soap also. You can push your finger in it pretty easy. That's 8.4 ounces. There's two different scents with this one, and I could not begin to pronounce the names, but here's what the lid looks like on this one here that I'll be using today, and here's the other one. So you can tell there's a slight difference. And of course on the back they'll tell you what scent, but today I'll be using this one, and this will be the aftershave goes along with it. And this is something that they do with their aftershaves that I like. They got the profile right here on the side. I think that's pretty cool. And before I forget, I usually do, as it goes for off camera, what I use for my beard care, I am trying out some Dragon's Gold, and I'll try to remember to put a link down below, as well as I'll put a description of what the scent is. And this is what it looks like on the inside there. If it has a scent, my nose doesn't pick it up, which is fine for me, whether it has a scent or not. And I was I was going to shave with this Gold Dollar W59, and that's what it looks like on the underside there. Really nice set of scales. I think when I stropped it, I rolled the edge, so I'm going to have it rehoned. So hopefully, I'm hoping on my Gold Dollar 66 I didn't roll the edge on it when I was stropping it. And this is what I'll be shaving with today. At least that's what the hope is. If not, I've got a slant DE sitting over here with a blade in it ready to go, just in case I messed it up. Got the soap whipped up in my bowl here with an ever-ready brush that was reknotted by Frank at Strike Gold Shave. That's where I get my straight razors from too. Let him hone them up for me, but I've got loads of lather in there. Yeah, quite a bit. I got plenty. I've already taken bloom water to the face and a hot towel, and I'm going to go ahead and re-wet my face. There's from time to time, depending on what circles you travel, you'll get in a small discussion about blooming the water of your soap. And I use it for more than just the, looks like I got a visitor. There's still mosquitoes around here, and that's one of them. There's various reasons for blooming your soap. And for one is you bloom it to bring the scent up, so that you can smell it, I guess you might say better. Brings the scent out. And which that's one thing I like doing for that purpose, but then of course the other purpose, I guess you might say a byproduct of all that, is I like to take the bloom water, it's soapy water, and work it into my face as a pre-shave, and that routine seems to work well for me. But that's, for me, that's I guess you might say the two reasons why I like blooming my soap is help bring the scent out, especially with my nose. And then I take the bloom water and use it as a pre-shave and work it into my face. Just part of my pre-shave routine. Been doing that for quite a while, and it's been working fairly well for me. I do know when I started doing that, it seemed like my shave started going a little bit better. Doing that as a pre-shave routine. I've got plenty of lather in this bowl. I'm going to test out this edge and see if I rolled it. I only do the straight razor shaves every once in a while. Not an expert by any means. So when it comes to stropping these things, sometimes I'll roll the edge. Give this one here a try. I don't know if you can pick up that feedback. So far it doesn't feel like I did. I know on the W59 I wasn't really that noticeable on the with the grain stroke, other than with the grain pass, but when I started to go against the grain, it's when it was really noticeable for me that I had done something to the edge. Matter of fact, the shave kind of reminded me of I've got some Enders. They're single edge shavers, and I used the vintage blade. It was a lot like that. You could shave with it, but it was not smooth or comfortable. It was a wee bit tuggy. Geo, Fat Boy, he cracked me up with talking about tugging and pulling and got tears. Not quite to the tears part, but it was pretty tuggy. To the point where I knew I had messed it up. I've had pretty good luck with this one so far, as it goes for not rolling the edge. I did when I first got it, and then Frank was kind enough to rehone my straight razors, and I've been using this one ever since. I'm kind of thinking I need to do some more research how closely related a ZY razor and a gold dollar razor is, because they sure do have a tendency to use the same kind of scales, but they seem to shave about the same. I know the blades don't always look the same. Had a interesting week. I stayed home from work on Monday. Allergies is really taking its toll on me, so I decided I better stay home from work because I really wasn't feeling up to par. And over the weekend, we did have two cats. One of them had gotten sick, and we'd taken it to the vet, and looks like the best we could figure out is that he got in a fight, got an infection in his lymph nodes, and then he died. But these, and that was Felix, and of course, you know, he was here in the house when he died, and we had that to take care of, and we took Felix to the vet to be taken care of, and then the very next day, Thor, our other cat, which he's done this several times as well as Felix, brought home a present. This time he didn't leave the present at the front door with it missing its head. He brought it in the house. And of course, you know, my wife and daughter always enjoy these rats that he brings in dead. And this rat was pretty good size. It wasn't a mouse, it was a rat. Created a little bit of excitement. And my wife took a picture of it. And we sent it to my mom, and my mom does not care for those sort of rodents. We had some fun with it, in other words. Oh, but the rat was dead. At least it wasn't live running loose in the house. Because he took it into my daughter's room. My daughter started yelling about it. She said he was just playing with it like it was a toy. It's always a challenge. And if you watch Jonathan when he's shaving around his goatee, it's always a challenge. For me, I use the heel quite a bit. Toe doesn't really, I don't really use the toe a whole lot, but the heel of the blade, getting up around the facial hair. Talk about moving it out of the way and make sure you don't whack any of it off. For me, I do have a habit of going by feel on how close I am getting to the facial hair, especially on the underneath part. I'm going to give this a try today, see how it works out for me. This is about as good as it gets on the cross the green pass. Up on my upper cheeks, I cannot get this. On my neck, I've never been able to figure out how to do it, and typically I don't need to, so I decide to forego it. But if I usually go with the cross the green pass, it is on my upper cheeks. It is quite a challenge doing that cross the green pass for me on the neck. Never been able to quite figure out how to do it without causing myself a lot of pain. Not quite to the tear part, but pretty close to tearing up sometimes trying to do that one. It just never felt very smooth or comfortable. I think I'm gonna go ahead and try the cross the grain pass on this side too. We'll see how well it goes. It's easier for me to go on my right side, to go from, I guess you might say, from nose to ear. Over here, it's from ear to nose. Yep, that's about as good as it gets. Everybody's got to start somewhere. And as it goes for, if you're just starting out, I think I'll go ahead and do that. It doesn't hurt any. If you're just starting out and you're with the grain, against the grain, that are easy passes for you, but across the grain seems to be a challenge, there's no problem with finishing up with your favorite razor, whatever it happens to be. Whether it's, you can finish up with a shavette if you're more comfortable with it, or DE single blade, or just whatever it is that you feel like you want to finish your shave up with. And I guess you might say pickups, if you will. So if you feel like you really need that against the grain pass on the neck or anything like that, get this razor wet. This particular razor is a slant that I got from Metalworks, and this this particular shaver, it's I guess you might say it's a one-off, especially when it comes to the handle. So in other words, you already got your other two passes. It's quite alright to finish up with a DE. I know it may seem kind of silly, but for some people, they just really see it in a video that it's quite alright. It's not easy enough just to say, hey, it's okay to finish it up with a DE or a single edge or whatever it is that you happen to be using. Just grab your razor, finish it up, and there you go. In other words, there's no rush, there's no hurry. If there's a pass that you can't figure out how to do, then you need to figure out whether is it really that important to get that, let's say, across the grain pass on your neck. And if it is, just finish it up with a DE, and eventually maybe it may come to you, and then maybe it may never come to you. Just depends on how important it is to you. For me, it's not that important. I can get by without having to do one on my neck, and many a time I can do it without having or feel like I have the need to do it on my cheeks, because most of my hair gets taken care of. I do have a place back here that's not the easiest to get with a shavette or a straight razor, because the way it grows, I really need to manipulate in different directions in order to get it. It's a very tough spot back here to get if I'm looking to get a very close shave. This is very acceptable for work, yes. It's the reason why I don't really focus too much on the cross grain pass for me on my neck. And in case if you haven't been following along with me, as it goes for the redness on the face, that's typical. I get redness even without shaving, so checking out, see how right there, I think I caught myself with the heel. Not bleeding, it's just stinging. Right there. Which it seems to be must be a spot for me, because if it's not on this side, it's over here on this side. I usually, the heel of the blade, regardless what I'm shaving with, I have a tendency to seem to catch myself. Still got my friends lying around. I'm going to follow up with some Humphreys Witch Hazel Lilac. I think I need to shave some more with the straight razor. I start to feel more comfortable with it. Last time I felt pretty comfortable with it, but I think it's been too long. I think I need to shave with it some more. I still have a lot of lather left in this bowl. TFS soaps has always performed well for me. I think it's pronounced Tcheon Fung Sing. That's what TFS stands for. In this one here, the scent is Corte. I can't even begin to pronounce the next word. Sabauda. Couldn't tell you. But this scent is really nice. One of these days I need to have Google pronounce it for me in English, to see if I can practice it enough to be able to say it. Yep, that one spot right there. Man, this smells great. Matter of fact, I may have to shave with the other one next week. I think I will. This was the aftershave. Like I said, they got the scent profile on the side. I think that's a pretty good idea. And soap of the day. Make sure I'm grabbing the right one. This has a totally red lid that goes with this particular aftershave. It's a bundle on a Italian Barber, and this is the other one. In other words, the lid's not totally red. And off camera, I'm going to use my Dragon's Gold beard balm. And the shaver of the day, the primary shaver, Gold $1.66. And I'll show you the pickup razor. This is a copper handle. Came from a grounding rod from Savannah, Georgia, and that's where I spent most of my time when I was in the Army, is in Savannah, Georgia, at Hunter Army Airfield. So this handle here is pretty special to me. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.